this is going to be setting up your recognition on the LPR camera for the Paramont series. In the previous video for the LPR, we showed how to set up detection and setting up the snaps for the license plates. So if you need help with the basic setup of the LPR, check out that video. But this video is going to be going over our database and recognition for the LPR. Okay, so I'm in the web portal. So the options that you have here at the top are live display, playback, search and backup, intelligent analytics, and function panel. Okay, so we're going to be starting off by going to your function panel. If you're working off of the local monitor, these options will be in the bottom left corner in the circle of 4 squares, which is your start button, and then go ahead and click on settings instead of function panel, and then you'll see this screen. Everything from this point on will be identical. So you're going to go to your LPR, select your LPR camera that you want to work on from the list underneath camera name. If you select a camera that does not support the LPR, you'll get this message. So make sure you have your LPR selected. Now, we already did the detection function setup in the previous video. So this is going to be dealing with recognition and your plate database. So we're going to actually start off in the plate database to show you what this looks like. So plate database is where you can add in plates that you want to and have a recognition happen when it matches a plate from your database. Okay, so make sure that you have the plate selected here on the left. Now, first thing that you can do is you can create a group name. So this is going to be a group that houses your plate numbers. Okay, so you could put something like employees in here. If you want like a block list type thing, you could put like fired employees. You could put, restricted, allowed. Name this group whatever you'd like. For this example, we'll go ahead and create one. We'll just name it employees. Okay. Then what I can do is I can expand this group over here on the right, and now I can add plates in. Okay, so if I know the plate number that I want to add in, I can go ahead and type it in. I can also utilize a bulk entry if I have a CSV file with plates all listed in Excel. Just as an example, I can go ahead and drop in a plate here. I can put in some more information. It's just going to be cosmetic, really. Vehicle type, vehicle owner, the mobile number. So I can put in that stuff that's going to be more cosmetic so you know which plate's who and who owns it, but it's not necessary. You really just need the plate number. And you can go ahead and hit OK. And now that plate number's in, it's going to be hidden with some stars here, just as an added layer of security. That's one way to add in a plate number. The other way that you can add in plate numbers is also through your intelligent analytics. So if you're in your intelligent analytics and you're looking at license plate snaps that have come into the field of view of your camera, you can go to your intelligent analytics. Just wait for this to load here 1 second. As it loads, got lost internet connection there for a second. I apologize. This is what you have your human body, vehicle, combine option. So go ahead and click on your vehicle, select your LPR camera. This is just another example of ways that you can add plates into your database. Okay, so I can't find my LPR camera. There it is. I'm just going to do a search for today as an example. And then you have the plates here. So another way that you can add plates into your database is with this. So if you see a plate number that you want, you can either copy it right here at the bottom, and then you can go back to that screen where you're at because you have the plate number, or very simply just hit the 3 dots here and then hit the register button. And then you can register it in right based off of the photo and drop it into whatever group you'd like. Okay, so that's another way that you can do it. But now heading back, what can be done once you have these plates in? So there's a lot of things that can be done. So we're going to go back to our function panel. We're going to go to LPR. And once we're in LPR, we're going to go to our recognition tab now. Now, typically what you would see here, if you were first setting this up, is these would be unchecked. Push would be checked, and we'll go over that in a second here. So typically what you would do, so let's say I added in my employees and I want to know when my employees come in. Okay, so one of the ways that you can do that is you can check the box for successful recognition. Now, what you can do is under plate group, now I have successful recognition selected here. So under plate group, what I can do is I can choose the group that when it successfully matches somebody from this group, it's going to do this function down here at the bottom. Okay, so where it says plate group is where I choose the group that I want this successful recognition to trigger. Okay, so let's say we took our employees group, right? So I go ahead and select employee and hit OK. So now it's saying my plate group is employees. So when I have a successful recognition for my employees group, this is the schedule when this is active. So I can set a schedule for when these functions occur. So you can either use the ones that are in here or you can create your own under manage. Then you can choose what happens when it matches that plate from that group. Okay, so push is on by default because the push notifications, they're turned on and turned off from the phone app. So you can go into the phone app and you can turn on notifications for an LPR camera. Okay, I can make a buzzer go off on the recorder when it matches somebody from my employees group. I can make pop-up video occur on the local monitor for the recorder. So what this means is, let's say you have a security guard or something watching 16 cameras on the local monitor. When it matches somebody from the employees group, it will then pull up this camera full screen for you. I can get an email notification by just checking the box when it matches somebody from the employees group. I can make a pop-up message pop up on the local monitor. So this message will actually pop up on the screen and let you know that it matched somebody. Okay. Recording is going to be triggered. That's on by default. You don't have to worry about that. Alarm outs. So this is a great option. So on the dongle for the camera there's alarm outputs. Okay, so I can actually go in here. My LPR camera will be listed in here because the NVR knows that that camera has alarm outputs on it. So for instance, here it is right here at the bottom. Okay, so I can check it. And if I wired something to my alarm outputs on my LPR, let's say a gate, for instance, I move it over and hit OK. So now what this is going to do is when it matches somebody from my LPR group, my employees LPR group, it's going to um, close that contact. Okay, so I have a contact wire, I have cables wired from, let's say, a gate to that alarm output on the dongle for the camera. It's going to close that contact when it matches somebody from the employees, thus opening up the gate for me. So a lot of ways this can be utilized. You could wire an alarm to it for block. You could uh, you could wire all sorts of things, door access, whatever it might be. So there's a lot of options there. So that's on the camera dongle, but also on the back of a lot of the NVRs, you have alarm outputs as well and other cameras. So if you wanted to, you can wire it to the back of the NVR. So if it's an alarm or something like that, that might make it a better option. Those are going to be in the very beginning of your alarm out options. And then the rest that you see in here are going to be from other cameras that have alarm outputs as well. If your camera supports it, it will be listed in this grouping. Snapshot, not really necessary because you're already getting snapshots from the LPRs. Now, what this can be used for is if you're using another camera in the area and you want to get a snapshot when it matches somebody from that group. So you get a snapshot image of what that camera was looking at when it matched somebody from this group. So that can be a good option. Just select the camera and move it over to the column. You can do multiple cameras. Trigger preset is pretty cool. So if you have a PTZ camera, let's say on the left of the building here, I can actually go in here, set up a preset for my PTZ camera. And if I have a preset set to look in a certain area, this camera will then move to that area when it matches somebody from that group. Okay. So that's how that's done. Very simple to do, easy to set up. That's for successful recognition. Now, strange plate is actually a very cool feature as well. If you check the box for strange plate and I go to strange plate, this is going to be if it if it captures a license plate that's not in my database. So this can be used for restricted areas where you're only supposed to have employees at a location. Okay. So if you're trying to trespass somebody, you want to know when somebody's coming onto your property that's not supposed to be there, you can go ahead and enable this. You can set a schedule for it. And then you have the same options in here as well. So you can make a buzzer go off when it matches somebody that's not supposed to be there. You can make the pop-up video happen. You can make the email notification happen or a pop-up message. Or you can get a push notification as well. Okay. That's another option. Now, thirdly, okay, what a lot of people ask is, what about if I wanted, I have one group that's for employees, and yeah, I just want the push notifications when it matches somebody from my employees. But I have another group called fired employees, and when they come on the property, I want a buzzer to go off on the unit. So the way you can set that up is you can hit this little plus sign here in the top right. And now you see I have another successful recognition. Okay, so the first successful recognition, this was following my employees, as you can see here. My second successful recognition is an entirely different recognition. Okay, so what I can do is I can set a separate schedule for this. I can go in here and select a separate group for this one. And now what I can do is I can make a buzzer go off. So now when it matches somebody from this group, now, my buzzer is going to go off on the recorder. Just make sure when you're all done, go ahead and hit apply. That's how you set up the database. That's how you set up the recognition portion. And I hope this was helpful.